Good morning, everybody. Another day of pushing record and talking to y'all. And today is Saturday. It's my last 2-day show for Greece. I got my family in town. I got my girl's family in town. And we're all gonna be meeting at my matinee show today. So that's pretty exciting. Having family in town kind of reminded me of, making sure that I'm coming correct when it comes to my attitude and just overall enthusiasm around being around my family. I've talked before about, I don't do much. Like I kind of like live life by my own terms. So I'm always constantly, inside doing my own thing. So when I'm kind of not obligated, but like have to do something like meet up with family or do all these things, after a little while, I could tend to get a little grumpy. And, in the past, it's been harder to control all that. I've kind of like developed a self-awareness of being grumpy, and just slowly trying to figure out how to change that. And then last night while I was talking with my fiance, we kind of were catching up and stuff, and I was talking about how, with our spending and stuff, because we're saving all the time and we're frugal, when we do go out for dinner and stuff, like I don't care really about paying because it doesn't happen often. And I was just like, you know what? I got to kind of think of my attitude as that as well. You want to be, if I want to be inside all the time, I have to be able to, when I go out, spend my attitude being a positive, person to be around. And, it's still a work in progress. Yesterday I went to that water park with my nephew and we're like waiting in lines. My sister's like, "You're worse than Landon," because I was complaining about, I'm like, dude, it's going to take an hour to get to that slide. I'd rather just be in the wave pool hanging out with everybody. But, the kid wanted to do slides, so we had to do it. But, I could feel myself getting a little grumpier and grumpier. And then, it was time to go. I had to get ready for my show and stuff. So I had to leave a little earlier. But, that's an example of like, sometimes you have to push yourself a little further than you would and keep a good positive attitude because you don't want to ruin people's time. It's just not a good look, constantly being the negative person in the group or just, I don't want to be that. And I've kind of accepted that I'm a little grumpy and I'm set in my ways, but I don't want that to be an excuse to always just like be an asshole, especially around my favorite people, like my family and friends. So I kind of want to just talk about that today. Hopefully, maybe if you recognize that same trait in yourself, you can maybe try to change it because you have the power to. I have the power to. I know that. So that's pretty much it for this one. My name is Sai, and I make videos every day about acting, about YouTube growth, about investing, about self-development, pretty much anything that you could want to learn about. I'm just trying to give my experience and try to help others. So if that's the kind of stuff you're into, definitely give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, please, and it helps me out. I appreciate that. If this type of stuff, you think it could help you out a little bit, I'm offering one-on-one calls right now. You can hop on a chat with me. Very low pressure, nothing too crazy. We're just trying to figure it out together, and maybe I could be someone to bounce some ideas off of. But they're very limited. So make sure you're getting in the description for the link, and let's get to a chat, man. And also, YouTube thinks you're gonna like one of these videos that's popping up on the screen, and I do too. All right, guys, I'm gonna get this walk in and then get to Greece, and I'll check in with you guys in the next one. All right, peace.